Live. Good morning, Lasal. Maayong Lasal kanatong tanan. We are now live, not just on Zoom, but also on YouTube. Welcome to Brew Zone Episode 3. I'm Brother Butch Alcudi and I'll be your host once again for this episode. Today we are joined guests, Lasalians actually. Start our episode with our opening prayer. Let us remember that we are in the most holy presence of God. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Let me be the change I want to see, to do with strength and wisdom all that needs to be done, and become the hope that I can be. Set me free from my fears and hesitation. Let courage and humility fill me with spirit to face the challenge and start the change I long to see. I start the change I want to see. Even if I'm not alive, I can be a spark in faith, service, and communion. Let us start the change we want to see, the change that begins in me. Today I start the change I want to see. Even if I'm not alive, I can be the spark. Service and communion. Let us start the change we want to see. The change that begins in me. Jesus in us. Jesus in
Saint John Baptist de La Salle, pray for us. With Jesus in our hearts forever. Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Once again, maayong buntag, maayong lasal, kanatong tanan. This is the third episode of Brew Zone. Brew Zone is actually a space where every Lasalian can just participate and engage with each other and talk about anything that matters to them. Today, our episode is all about coping with the new normal realities of student life. Alam mo, it's been 2 years already na nag-pandemic ta and we've been reflecting on it, reflecting our experiences, and karon pasulod na punta sa bagong reality, no? Because on Monday, finally, LaSalle University got an approval from CHED yesterday, Region 10, that we are going to go face to face already, no? So I'm not sure if everyone excited, but I am excited. For the last 2 days, we have seen 500 students on campus trying to simulate how it will be, no? For things are different, no? But we're trying our best also to ensure everybody is well, everybody is safe. So, Lasalians, today let's talk about and reflect on how we are coping up with the new normal as students, no? And today we have invited two guests, both Lasalians also. And but before I introduce them, pagkumustahan sa ata, no? Um, Siguro sa chat box may invite all those on Zoom karon to share with us sa chat box a word or a phrase to describe your feeling karon. Kumusta ka? Kumusta ka na, Lasalian? Okay, please to share your thoughts, a word or a phrase sa chat box, and I will read it lang. For those who are joining us from YouTube, you can also comment there your word or phrase that will best describe your feeling at the moment. Okay? How about, okay, yun. So keep on sharing lang sa, I'm trying to open YouTube, but wait lang. Baka may nag-ano doon so that no one will miss out, no? Sige. Ayun, may mga nag-greet na rin doon sa sa YouTube. Good morning from CTE Melgen or Melgen Oro. Hi also to Hana Ismero, Mafi Daan, Shanaya Penaranda, Telelu Kataytay. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning, no? They're on YouTube right now, they're not on Zoom. How about those on Zoom? Kumusta kayo? Please share with us kumusta ka by just put it in the chat box lang, no? A word or a phrase. Anyways, without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you our guest this morning. Nailhanan ko ni sila, they were still young. But I'm still young anyway. But they were still in high school pa sila. But amo lang na siya. I didn't realize na they're grown so much already in age and experience. But today, we are joined by two Lasallians. Okay, first, she's currently the Vice President for External Affairs of the DLSU, De La Salle University Student Government. She initiates programs and activities for students that are centered on community development, external opportunities, and national and international affairs. At present, she's a third-year student pursuing bachelor's degree in international studies, major in Chinese studies, and minor in economics at De La Salle University, Manila. She is also a defense research intern. I didn't realize that you're into this. At the Office for Strategic Studies, sabagay, si Tito pala, the dad. She also is a defense research intern at the Office for Strategic Studies and Strategy Management of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Lasallians, let's welcome Lara Homalesa. Hi, Lara.
Hi everyone! Good morning. Nice to be here. Hi bro.
Mayong aga, welcome Lara. Welcome to our Brew Zone episode 3. Okay. For our second guest, he's a member of the UP Law Debate and Moot Court Union. He was a national finalist in the International Humanitarian Law Moot Court Competition, assistant editor in the Philippine Law Journal or PLJ, and a member of the Order of Purple Feather, which is Honor Society of UP Law. Australians, let's welcome our second guest today, Lance Ryan Villarosa. Hi, Lance.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, no. Thank you for saying yes, Lance and Lara. Yun, parang it's been a while that I saw the two of you guys. But now this is our opportunity to be together once again and just have a conversation, but this time with Lasallians from Ozamis City. No? So we are joined dito sa Zoom and also sa YouTube. Actually, I'm also looking at YouTube now. We also have guests there. No? So in a while, I'll try my best to keep on acknowledging everyone. For those na nasa Zoom, again, write a word or a phrase that will best describe your feeling at the moment. Ana si Loris Sepe, I suppose siya. Good morning. So good ang iyahang morning. Sana all good ang morning ni Loris. Si Sherin, excited daw siya. Excited siya, no? But keep that spirit. Si Regine Lanzado kay happy. Oh, yun, that's nice. I can see already some hearts there is sa YouTube comments. Ecstatic, yun pa ni Charmaine. Isa pa. I'll just keep on sharing your word or phrase sa chat box and I'll just read it once in a while, okay? But how about you, Lance and Lara? How are you? Kumusta kayo? It's been 2 years since I last saw the two of you, but we'll start with Lara. Kumusta ka?
Well, ako bro, here at home lang because gabi pa din yung surge. We don't know, baka maapektuhan pa din ng COVID. But still pursuing studies at the same time or work, I feel like that has really been a part of me ever since high school. So chill at home and doing schoolworks. How about you, Lance?
Oo nga.
I think I agree with the schoolwork. I'm drowning probably in schoolwork right now. Pero okay lang, fighting. I think yeah. Bro asked me a while ago kung may tagline ng UP. And I forgot it's UP fight pala, di ba? It's UP fight. So and I think that's a good mindset, di ba? Always fight. Always fight for,
Yeah.
whatever you're going through. So yeah. I mean, probably not as org, hindi ako BS org like Lara, di ba? But then yeah, and I think a lot of people here, di ba? Especially, are they college, bro? Yung mga people here. College start, high school.
Basin, I think sorry, I mixed up with Ilonggo and Cebuano already.
Same.
There are students from the basic ed, but I am not sure if they're around because it's their examinations now. So, but most of us are college at the moment. Yes, most of our audience pala are college. I forgot I'm not a college student pa pala.
Amo ng best opportunity for BS org.
Yes,
Yes.
that's true. No, so it's good to know that everything is all right. Both of you are in Manila at the moment, right?
Yes, bro.
Okay.
I'm in Bacolod, bro. I'm in
You're
Bacolod
also,
right now.
you're in Bacolod. Okay,
Yes.
you're in Lance is in Bacolod, Lara is in Manila. Our two other guests could not make it. No, one is from Malaysia and the other one is from Singapore. Last minute, they have to. You see, this a reality. Biglang nagsabi na, brother, I cannot make it because it's our examinations at this particular time. No? And the other one is, I have an interview with my professor, with my prof at 10 o'clock. Oh my God, sayang, no? We would have at least a lead wide, a reach, sana, on reflecting on how everybody is coping up. But with them sharing with me about their sudden maring sudden lang na decision, they could not make it, can also actually give us a picture that this is part of our reality now. If in as much as we want to share ourselves, but because of requirements sa school, we have to give in to that. No? So, yun. Siguro to start lang our morning, Lara and Lance, no? I'd like to ask you, since we are already in 2022 na, and a lot of things have happened already since the pandemic started, maybe balikan muna natin, no? The last 2 years, no? What challenged you as a student in the first 2 years of the pandemic? How was it? It's parang no one was prepared, di ba, sa pandemic. Bigla lang siya nangyari and then our lives changed, no? So what, can we start with you,
Well,
Lara?
for me, actually, bro, it was my first year in college. So, as a person coming from the province, coming from Bacolod, I was really excited to move to Manila and, enjoy the metro life na hindi natin nararanasan, in the city in Bacolod because it's super super different. But then parang it was taken away. Hindi naman taken away, but somehow taken from me that experience to walk to school from my dorm, to hang out with my new friends, college friends, and create new memories. So that was really something that I was really looking forward. But then the pandemic happened. However, a lot of things also happened in the last 2 years, no. I experienced the shift, how it was also easy to actually create new bonds online at the same time to be more productive also. I guess I was more productive online because I could handle what, 3 meetings sometimes in 1 hour.
Three
Yes,
meetings.
bro, 3 meetings. So
Wow.
I'd listen in one, I'd talk in one, or the other one, I'd listen also. So that's how fun it was for me actually to juggle all those things. But then the pandemic also taught me how it's also important to connect with people real life. Talaga. It's super hard to be alone sometimes in your room and to just face all these things. Iba pa din if you have support nakasama mo talaga beside you, someone you could talk to and someone you could feel. So that kind of presence, that was something that I was really longing for. But pandemic, it has good things that happened, also bad things that happened. But at the end of the day, sabi nga ni Lance kanina, padayon lang. So ayun, bro.
So, if Lara can manage, three meetings, which I tried, but I decided not to anymore. What about you? What challenged you in the first 2 years as a
I think
student?
I think that's a skill, bro. Attending 3 meetings in 1 hour. Skill yun eh. I haven't developed that yet. But actually, with what Lara said, I find it really interesting now that people can make like a lot of new friends online. Like I'm like via siguro mga Discord, mga going to class and you talk to people. Well, ako naman before nag-lockdown in Manila, before I moved back to Bacolod, I had experienced like face to face in law school for for a year essentially. For a year. Ikaw, Lara, did you experience that face? I mean, like, did you meet your blockmates pa and everything?
Yes, for a sem also.
For a sem din? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, ako, yeah, for that. And I think, especially in law school, right? It's, at least we were given the idea or the culture that kami lang eh. Because we're like what? We're like 19 in the class. And then, every day it's like so difficult and everything. A lot of readings, the recitations, the quizzes, diba? So we really had to rely on each other, So, and then the bonds that we shared are really different. So that's why I think the biggest like adjustment for me was being away from physical touch with other people, diba? I mean, yeah,
Especially
yeah.
those are touchy. That's
Oh.
everything.
Yeah, yeah,
And ako lang mini function ka.
Yeah, that's part of our reality
oh.
no, biglang may papasok na boys and all, no? And it's all right. That's part of our new normal reality now. No?
Siguro bro, nag-react yung sa physical touch. Kailangan.
But that's true, di ba? Where were you when the pandemic happened? Where were you?
Well, I came from nag-free cut yung professor namin eh. Nag-free cut. And we were so happy because he was terror prof. In in law school we call them, well, they're known for like the horsemen actually. They're called the horsemen of the apocalypse because like super terror. So one of them, we had a free cut, so we were so happy. We went home and we're like, okay, let's go drinking with my blockmates. So we went out, we had fun. We had karaoke also. Then later did we know that that's the last time we see each other in 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, and even more. Diba? So I just feel like iba talaga pag you get to meet people physically. And because most of the time every day you're only in front of your laptop or your phone or you're with your parents, diba? Which is good, but then it's really different talaga when you get to be with people. You're more open and especially for me kasi may bond na kami. We had a relationship already as a block. And I think Lara did also, diba?
Yeah.
As kayo, diba? So to have, to test that online really was a different challenge, for me.
Yeah. What about you, Lara? Where were you when the pandemic started?
Well, when the pandemic started, was it March 15?
Yes,
Basta
it was
somewhere
March.
March. I just had my brows threaded near school. Kasi we were going to have like a DP change. Pag frosh student ka and BS org ka, so parang there are a lot of like DP changes, ganyan. Sabi ko, I want to be pretty in my DP change. Sobrang OA. Pero yeah. And then after that, we just went to school. And then our brother president at that time just said na school will be canceled for today kasi wala pang announcement for full suspension. And we were so happy as well because who wouldn't want the suspension, di ba? On a busy day. So, but then, yun na din pala yung last day namin na magkikita. Actually, hindi pa pala. Nakabalik pa pala ako ng Lasal because I usually attend mass also in Lasal. But then after nun, as in suspended na talaga. So that was also the last time. And the first time I went to the PGP chapel, yung malaking basta may malaking chapel. Yeah, yung
For the Great
malaking
Prize. Yeah.
yun yung ano, na chapel sa Lasal. So it was also saddening on my end because I didn't get to really experience for a long time um the bond with my friends, to meet new people, at the same time to even explore DLSU itself, because I'd always just stay in my classroom or go to the canteen and then outside DLSU, but never to go like in all other places inside DLSU. So that's something that I really miss. And yeah, that was my experience, kind of my last experience in DLSU as well.
Yan, no? So, may thanks Lara and Lance, Pero may inala ko dito sa ano, sa group, sa chat box ulit, no? Sabi ni Jomar, if, di ba sa kumustahan to kanina, sabi niya, he feels loved. Yan, that's nice. And then from YouTube, okay, thanks tech team. Sabi ni Patrice Pinonggan, laban sa mga nang cramming today, pero ganahan mo join sa school events, hindi kayo nag-iisa. Hi. Yeah, no, that's true. I'm sure that's part also of our struggle as a student. Maybe I come from a different generation because I had a different context. No? What's nice is I have a different context, Lance has different context, Lara's different context. No? Sa time ko, pag suspension of classes, wow, that's time to go out and chill and relax somewhere with friends, di ba? Or go with the family, no? And then, pero sa pandemic, paano kayo nag-cope sa sa mga challenges? Di ba that was a time na nag-lockdown tayo, we started to move to online classes. How did you cope up with it? How did you cope with it? No? Sa mga naging challenges niyo. Maybe we'll start now with Lance.
I think during the start of the pandemic, all of us were kind of scared, definitely, because you at first we thought like, oh, it might be some like a swine flu or something like that. Wasn't too serious. Then apparently you hear stories na people that get affected, and I think it becomes really real, diba? Diba before there were a lot of deniers. That's not true, lo. Ganun. Then
That's
you get
true.
to know people um whom you actually know who get affected, and that's when you start to realize, oh wait, this is actually true. It's actually real, diba? So I'm like, everyone got this heightened sense of anxiety and everything. So I think what a lot of us did, especially me, like drown myself in work. You have to like insulate yourself from the fear and stuff. So I did a lot of work, ganon. If I could not go out, I'd just stay at home, probably do whatever, indulge in some hobbies like that. But I think it's really just at that time in the beginning, just trying to insulate yourself from all the anxiety and everything. But after the initial like spike, right, or even during the spike, I think that was the time when my family and I, the first time actually we did this, we started to pray the rosary every day, and we've never done that before. We've never done that before, and before I just prayed the rosary probably, I don't know, every Saturday before mass kasi sa Lasal.
Before the mass. There's
Yeah,
always a rosary before the mass.
there's always a rosary before the mass. That's the only time we have to pray. But now, parang during the pandemic, when we had nothing to do at home, we scheduled like, okay, probably 8 p.m. Then we came earlier, like before dinner. All of us should be together to pray the rosary, ganon. Then we pray for other people. And I think that's one aspect that people tend to uh, undervalue, or at least underappreciate. Now, when you're going through something, uh, like your mental health, at least for me, yung mental health mo, how it progresses through time is significantly affected by your spiritual well-being. Doesn't have to be like a rosary, like whatever religion that you have. It's a lot about it is even meditation, diba? Just relaxing and really spending time with people to reflect on certain things really helps give you the confidence na even if I'm going through a difficult time, I know that this is just temporary. Then there's still tomorrow. Mga quotable quotes, mga ganun. So yeah, that's something that I did. So definitely prayer really helped during those difficult times.
Lance, that's your first point, no? Prayer helped you cope with it.
Yeah.
And then, mind me asking, you were with your family.
Yes, yes. I
Started
was
in Manila. In Manila.
Yeah, I was with my mom in Manila. I was with my
Okay.
mom. And then we moved back to Bacolod when when news came out na
Maglo-lockdown.
Manila was gonna lock down. Yeah. So here it's like me, my mom, and my dad.
Mhm.
Leave us in the house. But there are two dogs. So
But
yes,
the
yes. There goes Bobby.
no, nakakatulong din pala yun. Ako, I had one also. So what about you, Lara?
Well, for me, bro, I think I consider myself as a really extroverted person. Like I want to be surrounded with a lot of people, talk to a lot of people all the time. And when the pandemic happened, parang it totally shifted. Even our classes we had to go just in front of our screens. We don't have any classmates with us. So wala na akong machichika sa kabilang side ko or sa kabilang side ko. So it was very difficult for me, first for online classes, no. So imagine being in a household where, syempre, wala kaming house help here. We really had to help with our mom, with our dad at home. So you had to do tasks at home. At the same time, I think I mentioned this earlier as well, that I was a BS Org student. So I had to juggle several organizations, and at the same time, of course, school. So it was really time demanding. Everything was very time demanding. But what I got from all of that is to really prioritize things that you value and matter most. So first, you really have to be with your family at that very very moment, because it was hard for everyone. And I think I resonate with Lance as well, because one of our coping mechanisms that time was also to pray the rosary at 8 p.m. So that was our time. And what was good about that time and until now, naman bro, is we used to pray the rosary na kami lang. But when my grandparents like passed away due to COVID na, we were able to pray the rosary with my tita abroad, with my tita in Silay or in Bacolod, and my other family. So it got us connected. And I think that sense of being with them was felt in those very moments. So that was one of the things that made us cope with the pandemic, with our losses as well, and what and how we were doing as individuals. Apart from that, on a leisure note, siguro plants. Oh my God, ang dami-daming naging plantito. I think that was one of the things that a lot of people were really engaged to, as in collecting plants, taking care of plants. It's like parang a sense of responsibility to a certain person that when you wake up you have to take care of this certain thing. So that became a responsibility, but that also became something that um it made you still feel like a human na you care for something kahit plant lang yan. And I guess being online with friends, I'm very privileged to have the resources to have the internet, to have my own phone, to have my own laptop, to talk to people. And I really use, that privilege to also connect with other people online. Kaya nga yung sinabi namin kanina na we didn't expect to create bonds, meet new people online, because of this certain phenomena, 'di ba? So that's something that I'm really really super grateful that because of the pandemic I learned a lot of things about myself. I learned to be a plantita. So I learned to also reconnect with my family, and at the same time create new bonds with people online, meet new people online. So that's it for me, bro.
Parang ang common sa dalawa, prayer.
Yes,
First,
yes.
to cope up sa demand sa school and the pandemic, prayer. Second, si Lance, pets. No? So, we started to adopt pets, and then si Lara was plants. Naging plantita siya. No? And then the fourth is connecting with people. No? So, prayer, pets, plants, people. It seems may relationship may common tayo sa mga
Easy lang lahat.
information.
Sabay ganun.
So it's nice na it's nice na we are able to identify all of these things, no? So that it can help us also cope. I mean, share with others, no, how we are coping up, no. So maybe I'll ask also those in the audience, no, uh, yung nasa Zoom at saka nasa YouTube, kumusta kayo, no? What was your own way of coping, no, with the demands of school, especially na online siya. Some of us actually here in Azamis naka-offline pa, no. So during the start, mga 300 sila. And then, the challenge of going outside of the city, going to the remote areas just to accompany all our students. So parang kasama pa rin na so far wala pang may nag-affirm kanina, no? Sabi niya true. Ito siguro yung cramming today yata ito. Shout out naman dyan sa first guest natin. Actually, before you, Lara and Lance, I also had 2 students from Lasal Ozamis na nag-guest na rin dito. She's now watching us from YouTube. Hi, Hannah. Oh, akala ko lumipat na to ng school. No, natakot ako bigla, but I was happy to know na she's still with us here in Lasal Ozamis. No, I'd like to shout out din kay Mafi Daan, Jaira Tayondon, Bianca Piraren, Perzade, Judith Alandumon, Mary Joy Fuentes, Annabel Aligain, Lizelle, Krisha Ochagabia, Mary Joy Fuentes, Stella Paran, Roland Balangaos, Sheila Albarico, Joey Paderanga, Gracie Almadin. No? At least we have a good crowd. It's nice to know na that we're able to share our experiences para naman din for the others also to know, to be able to also appreciate na hindi lang pala ako nag-iisa. So I'm not sure sa Zoom, do you have anything to share? Please write it sa chat box lang. No? Kanina, I'd like to highlight yung sinabi ni Lance. No? I drowned myself from work to insulate myself from all the anxieties. Ako makarelate ako dyan. No? Just like Lara, I lost my mother sa first year ng pandemic pa yun. No? Imagine the 120 days of anxieties because she was nasa na siya. The two of you knows this. No? Nasa ICU siya and ang hirap. No? I have work to do, and at the same time I have to accompany my family, be there for them virtually and physically, travel, all the risk, all the antigen test. Gabi. Every time I cross to Iligan, gabi yung pain sa ilong ko, no? So, ang wish ko, lalaki ang ilong ko naman, no? Kasi flat na to. But yun, that was my reality, no? So, si Lara kanina, I'd like to highlight when you said na yung the value of relationships. That's why you started to take time with your tita abroad, and all in the family. So that's nice, no? I wonder how the others are also coping, how others coped during the first 2 years of the pandemic, no? Feel free to share sa comment sa comment section for those na nasa live chat, please feel free to comment. Na nasa Zoom sa chat box natin. Okay? So sa second question, third question na pala ako. No? Sa dami-daming gusto magtanong, may tatlong papel biglang nabigay sa akin. But I'll start first lang dito. Paano nyo na-ensure yung balance sa studies and life while you were on lockdown? Siguro let's have two phases. Una is during lockdown, paano nyo na-ensure yung balance, studies and life balance? Kung sa akin, work-life balance, how about sa inyo? Paano nyo na-manage yung studies-life balance while you were on lockdown? While we were on lockdown. And then the second would be, nung medyo nag-open up na ang protocols, no? How did you ensure na balance yung studies and life natin? Maybe we'll start with Lara.
Well, for me, actually, bro, parang at the start of the lockdown, I didn't know what to do because I'd usually just use my laptop for social media, Google Docs, Google Drive, all those things, but never for Zoom meetings, Discord, or whatever video conference platform that may be. So I didn't know how to utilize those things. there was Canvas already before, but I didn't like it didn't parang I didn't bother to check it also because we were in school. Parang it wasn't like really a priority for us to navigate and all that. But then, I had to learn all those things just to continue my studies. Yun nga, I guess there was also parang a big issue before na no student left behind. So should we just cancel classes for everyone and all that? But then at the end of the day, I really thought to myself na uh, what if this pandemic doesn't end, or what if it will be there for a long time? Will our education also suffer, like by just stopping or not attending classes? So it's really important that we still attend education, and if ever those who can, I think it's really one of the things that the government should prioritize on, kasi a lot of students really want to go to school kahit pandemic. So, we had to adjust to all of that. And at the same time, for the life balance, I don't know actually. I don't have the right answer for that, because I'd be lying if I said that I was good at study life balance, because in all honesty, hindi talaga. Sometimes I get to don't follow this, but then sometimes I forget to eat on the right time, because
Oh,
when you're in online classes, sometimes you're just in front of your screen and you don't know what time it is already, unlike in school na may bell tapos na yung class and all that. So I tend to like finish all the things before I eat. And even when I sleep, parang my sleeping pattern already changed, na I had to sleep like early in the morning and then also wake up super late in the morning for the next day. So a lot of things change. But then what I'm super glad that I have at home is my mom. Like, she would always remind me to eat, at the same time to just sleep properly. Kasi, at the end of the day, all of these things, lahat ng hard work natin,
mm.
lahat ng pawis, dugo, anything that you put in school or even in our org works, walang silbi yan if we're not productive, or we're not taking care of ourselves. So ayun, that was something that I think my mom really taught me, na have a life also, not just down yourself to school or work. And then nung naglessen na yung pandemic restrictions, quarantine restrictions, I guess the urge to really go out, go to the mall, just have fresh air, that's really something that I wanted. But you know what's super weird and different? Nung pumunta ako ng mall, hingal na hingal ako. Tapos, after I went malling and all that, I felt super, super tired. I don't know why, because before, usually, I would enjoy going out and
Ah,
go to the mall and then spend time with friends. But then, 4 p.m. pa lang ng hapon, 5 p.m. pa lang ng hapon, I'm really, really so tired. I don't know, baka sa face shield yon at sa face mask. But then, I was really, really happy that I got to experience a new normal na din, Bro and Land. So I was really happy to experience that, to also meet friends again, because yun nga, you were isolated there for a long time. And then, ayun, the government, hindi na heightened yung restrictions. It made me feel safe na, and at the same time, I get to be myself again. So, ayun, that's it for me.
that's true, no? Yung sabi mo na hingal na hingal. It could be a mix of what was the circumstance at that time, no? We had the face shield, the face mask. Pas yung kaba when you go out, ganun din ba yung feeling mo? I think it could be the parang contributor sa feeling na, but parang bigla akong napagod? Because that was also, I'm not sure with Lance, but that was what I felt when I went out of the campus, no? Because La Salle is my home, no? So I have the whole campus for me to just walk around, no? But
Yeah.
when I go out, parang naiba yung feeling. So yun, no? Thanks, Lara. What about you? What about you? What about you, Lance?
Well, I really relate with Lara so much. Sa sleep, like super. Like sleep is like to me a fundamental human right, in the words of law school. Yeah, it is super because like you talk about the balance. Same with Lara. Like, is it that does that really exist? Work life, student life, balance. Does it really exist? Diba? But then one thing to at least or one effort to make it true or to make it a reality is to sleep really. Like we'd have like so at least in the law school context, just dipping our feet into it. Like we have like 20 to 30 cases to read a day, about 15 per class, and then it's always
30
recitation.
cases?
About that, 20 to 30 around that, depending on the number.
And how many pages are those cases, if I may ask?
I mean, we're lucky if you get most of them are below 10, but some of them are like 15 up. So yeah, there's really a
Wow.
lot, and then it's always recitation. So you're always called, right? So you're on the spot. You have to. So you really a lot of investment has to be done into studying, right?
Mm-mm.
So a lot of people get burned out, especially like you just want to cry at the end of the week because you didn't have a good performance or you didn't prepare and you're just really tired, right? But I think one way to remedy that is really sleep, right? So and one thing I noticed also is like that similar to what Lara said, you can't um, wrap your head around worrying about everything because you
That's
can't
true.
control everything, right? So one way to do is to sleep really, and to really just like numb yourself to everything that's going around you. So you try to sleep, right? And yeah, like what Lara said, you wake up super late, super late the next day because you invested all of your energy into your work, into your studying, like that, the day prior. So yeah, it's really for me, it's really sleep that really works. But I think the moment the restrictions lightened up, since I'm from Bacolod, I took time to meet up with my friends from Bacolod here, high school friends, right? So we do like, oy, kape. Like usually in a group chat, we're just like, oy, kape da, diba? So we just have coffee, and then like on some random afternoon, if I don't have class, diba, I go coffee with them, and I think that really helps. And it's the same stories all the time, all same high school stories. It never changes. But then for some reason, at the end, you feel refreshed. That's why for me, um, like what Larry said a while ago, na parang uh, she was able to make new friends online. I wish I could have that skill, but I find it difficult. Because to make friends on Discord, Zoom, ganun. Most of the people I Zoom actually are like my really close friends from especially I have this like really close group from college. Like those are the only people I Zoom with. Aside from my blockmates who I see every day. Diba? So I think that once the restrictions came up, meeting people whom you haven't met for a while, or you meet only through online, really refreshes you. Even if you guys talk about the same thing all the time, just being in touch with other people really helps. And it really I won't say makes you forget the tasks that you have to do, but the moment you get home, you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do my work, but it's okay because I had time to myself, naman, like that. So I guess that's that balance you have. But the reason why I say it's not a balance because it's very irregular. But this day, you don't get to meet your friends every day, right? You don't get to meet your friends every weekend, so you don't get to Zoom call with them every time. So that's why it's very irregular. But still, uh, looking back, it's really refreshing. Still, those moments. So sleep and meeting with friends for me, um, kind of makes that balance between work and personal life.
Parang uncommon again, no? Sleep, no? The value of sleep. I wonder, yung audience natin sa YouTube, kumusta ang tulog nyo during the pandemic, the last 2 years? Kumusta ang tulog nyo? Ano ba, walay tulganay ni bilaray tatirme, no? Kumusta ang tulog nato during the pandemic, no? Just put it, kung namo sa live chat, put it sa comment section. Kung namo sa chat box, sa Zoom, share it sa chat box, no? Kumusta ang tulog nato during, kumusta ang tulog na the last 2 years? That was my problem sa first year, ang sleep, no? Parang there were days na di ko katulog for one reason or another. Napoy days na gusto lang ko matulog. I mean, just shut down the. I'm not sure if you can relate, guys, no, especially kayong mga millennials, no, na I'm not sure siguro for professionals, there were times that I just shut down my phone, my
Yeah.
my laptop, i-close na ko siya. Even my sa TV, I don't watch it anymore. I just close my eyes and sleep. I'm not sure if that's part also of your experience the last 2 years.
Ano bro, i-airplane mode ang phone. Airplane mode.
Para
Para no one can call you or
So
text you.
disturb. Do not
Ay, that's a
disturb.
good advice. I-airplane mode para wala makatawag sa ako.
Or
Ganun
kay
ba?
Lara na do not disturb ang
Oo,
feature.
do not disturb na
Do
feature.
not disturb. Sige, I'll do that also. No, but karon I deactivated sa social media. That's part of my mental health, parang detoxification siguro. Even my time sa because I have I'm active in social media. I have Instagram, I have Twitter, I have Facebook, no? And then wala lang, I decided to focus muna sa work ko because I had so much work to do. And I had so much concerns back home, no? So, yun. Allow me to check. I got good comments dito sa live chat. No? Sabi ni Mafidaan, Bilarjud Pirmi. Ngano kaha? Mafi, nganong gabilar man ka Pirmi? No, si Patrice, very guba ang sleeping routine. May iba hindi na nakakatulog sa gabi because they said, according to my former students, the best time ko na to connect sa klase was sa gabi. So parang the data, maybe because of the situation siguro sa area, they find na ang data connectivity sa gabi much better siya than during the day. So it's interesting, no? So, I wonder ay location and unsa ka ang service dito, and it's nice to know these things, It's nice to know kasi unlike in the in Metro Manila, you have a good connections there.
Ay bro, no, that's not
That's
true.
true. Lara, I had a meeting with brother visitor from Rome last night and he was saying, Butch, wag kang maniwala. Pangit ang connection dito. Akala ko for sila and all. But they said the connection is also not good there. So maybe it's a global thing, na hindi talaga maganda ang connection. So, maisa dito, 3 a.m. ang tulog. My God, Patrice, 3 a.m. yung tulog. How long do you sleep ba in a day? Ikaw, Lara.
Baka, sige, let's say, an amount
Too
of...
personal.
Good sleep. Good sleep.
Too personal.
Good sleep for me. Baka 5 to 6 hours. That's already good.
Per actual, what the actual?
Usually 4 to 5.
4 to 5. Okay.
Pero I sometimes tend to oversleep also. Which is really bad kasi sobrang ano talaga ng sleeping pattern ko. It's really so bad. So there are times I oversleep. There are times like I'm just short of sleep talaga.
Ikaw, Lance.
I mean, I used to sleep like 4 to 5 for sure. Yeah. I think 4 to 5 pag let's say midterms or finals week. Because like I don't know with me, but my brain works better the less sleep I have. But I can't do it for a longer time, right? Because like if I sleep, so let's say I grind right until like 2 to 3 a.m. and then I wake up at like 7, diba? For some reason, like my brain heightened na eh. So,
Functions
like,
well.
exam,
Yeah.
diba? When you answer exam or when you go in a meeting, parang super focused ka. Then after that, you die, diba? You're dead. So you lie down after that. Pero ideally, if it's non-exam, I try to at least go 6 to 7. Like in parang for me non-negotiable sana eh. Because anything I can do 8. 8 to me, I get lethargic the next day. Talaga, hindi ko kayang 8. Pero less than, like let's say 5, I can't function that much. Unless pag finals or midterms, pwede na. Yeah.
Ako sa start sa pandemic, 3 hours, 4 hours. Kasi may yung alam mo, Facebook Messenger became the platform for kumustahan. Uy, naunsa na ka? Anong nangyari sa mo? Nasaan ka na ngayon? Anong ginagawa mo? Minsan may biglang magme-message, brother, hindi ko pa masubmit ang requirement. Ako, I've always said, kung hindi nyo mapas, okay lang. That was my line. Take your time. Don't rush. If you need to delay your submission, walang problema sa akin. Anyway, deadline is 1 week before submission of grades. No? But of course, napipresyo din ako because sometimes I would ask myself as a teacher ba na at that time nung start sa pandemic na what would be the best thing to do for us teachers, no? Na are we going to demand, no, you should submit pa rin the deadline and all. Kasi may teachers din akong kausap, brother, if we keep on extending and, we're patient. No? A lot of teachers were really patient. It's just that pag kami naman din ang pressure pag it's time to submit our grades. No, so imagine the challenge also for us teachers. No? So sabi ko, paano kaya tayo mag-meet halfway? No? So for students, we see rants on Facebook and teachers also ranting on Facebook. Imagine my role trying to, so that I'm also parang physically and emotionally drained, absorbing those things. No, so but that was part of, and then my personal my personal issues pa, concerns back home. No? So yun yung medyo mahirap. But yun lang. It's nice to hear from our yung usually talk about how we ensure balance. I agree. There's balancing things would take time. No? I'm sure maybe sa first year ng pandemic, second year ng pandemic, medyo naka-adjust na tayo. Ngayon, kumusta naman tayong mga natin, no? What are the things that we do now, especially na medyo ang restrictions kinda flexible. A lot of people can travel already. I was able to travel finally, pero work naman siya, hindi naman siya bakasyon. I have to see my doctors also. I did not see you guys anymore because wala, you were not in Manila man din. So, yun lang. How about ngayon? Kumusta? What are the things that you do now that you have not done the last 2 years that at least that can help you deal with your mental health, your academic life, you're also ensuring that you still have time for friends and family? How about that? Ikaw, Lance.
Well, I think, bro, and nothing too different. I think when I go out now, I'm more confident na, because I'm vax na, you got your booster na, so parang whenever, like, while I was able to watch a movie, I think I've never done that since the pandemic with my dad. We're watching a Doctor Strange movie. It's pretty good. So, going to, like, watching a movie, buying groceries, stuff like that. Meeting with friends, especially for coffee, like those things really help me keep up. And then if it's like school related, I think one benefit now, because online, I don't know if you guys relate to this, pero example, pag may webinar in the morning, tas you woke up, all you have to bring your laptop is the bed mo, and you're lying down, all you have to do is keep it open. So yeah, as long as off cam, di ba? And maybe some of the people here are like that also.
I'm sure, Lance.
So
daghang students makarelate nga naka-off ilang camera, but for us teachers and resource speakers, we don't know whether they're lying on bed, they're sleeping, they're just there because like ngayon, tayong tatlo, I can see the two of you, you can see me, but I am not sure with our audience, no? So you don't know when you're in a webinar or on an online class. That's a challenge also for us teachers. But there are also teachers who will really ask students to put on their cameras. Naka-on siya dapat. So yun.
Pero it's okay, bro. I'm not against it because I do that also.
Well, I'm sure even as teachers, there are times man na naka-off ang camera din because maybe multiple screen, no? It's something that is something we can talk about later in a while, no? Yung having multiple screens, no? Is that healthy or not? So, what about you, Lara?
For me, actually, first is traveling, to be honest. Kasi, I don't know, I think it's really the person in me who really wants to, like, travel and all that. And I got to ride a plane as well recently lang when I went back to Bacolod. So parang, wow, ito na ba yung feeling ng airplane ulit? Ganun. Kasi kala mo, hala, baka magka-COVID ako. Pero anyways, kahit naman kasi yun yung isipin, I'm really confident as well because, I'm already fully vaxxed, naka-booster na din. So I'm really, really grateful that I already have those things to keep me protected. But apart from that, the BS org person in me also really wants to have activities as well on ground in school. So it's really something I'm looking forward actually. So really get to create projects already there in school, and also to have my team on board as well, na they get to experience as well that kind of student life, na they get to initiate something for the student body na it's actually physical na, makikita na. So that's something that I'm really really looking forward. And siguro apart from that, attending classes ulit in school, because I know for a fact that a lot of schools have renovated their own classrooms, making it fit na for students who can't travel back to Manila or wherever that institution might be. So I'm really, really hoping that I get to experience that. And also a lot of students get to experience that, no? Because at the end of the day, 'di ba? Sabi nga nila, lessons taught must be experienced in the classroom, but then the learnings go beyond that as well. So iba pa din if ma-experience mo siya sa four walls ng isang classroom. So it's really something I'm looking forward, especially as a student, especially as a college student who just entered DLSU for one sem, and then I didn't get to experience that. So
What's your ID number, Lara? Ano ID number mo?
119.
Oh my
What's your
God,
ID number?
119.
Mine is
115.
112. Mine is
115.
112. OMG. No, may mga I can relate to the ID number, but there's one question I'd like to ask. I will not wait. You've been mentioning BS org. What is that?
BS organization. It's like,
And
a course. Joking, it's a course or program. But then it's like a student who manages to have a lot of organizations, or kind of like focuses or prioritizes organization over
Over
acad. But
studies.
over studies.
organizations over studies. No,
Oo.
I'm guilty to that. I'm guilty to that. When I was still in college, no. Yeah. What about our audience sa Zoom at saka sa YouTube? Anong organizations nyo ngayon? May mga organizations ba kayo? No? So, may mga na sabi nga ni sino to? Oy, shout out daw. Sino pa nandito? Yan Kilio, Zenkler, Melaine Aba, Sila Kumari, Aliesh Nate o Nate. Levin Garado, Avi Pama, Jonaline Pangasian, Mary Joy Fuentes, Ashley Gumapak, no? May nag-share sa chat box. I can relate to Miss Lara, ha? Or over ACADS. Sino to? Patoms Pratom. Can you unmute yourself? Nasaan siya? Patoms Pratom.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir. Hello po.
And you are?
My name is Dominic po.
Dom, can you open your camera?
I'm currently traveling po.
You're coming from where?
No, pauwi na ako ng Pagadian City po, from Ozanes.
You were here on campus ba?
Kahapon po. Pauwi na.
Sige. What about, you said you can relate to Miss Lara or over ACADS. What's your story?
Kasi po pwede mo bisaya?
Pwede na magbisaya.
Never ba ako nakatry og face-to-face my whole college life. Kaya kami tong first batch ba sa first years na way back 2020. So ang akong outlet to be surrounded by Lasallians is to join many organizations. Like karon sa Fatum sa among college, sa interest-based organizations, and also kaghapon pod kay Campus Marshall pod ko. So tulo ka book akong tabok-tabukan. Tulo ka book circle.
Nice. How does
Yeah.
it feel to be back on campus? How does it feel to be on campus, Dom? Was it your first time in LaSalle? Sa campus?
It was my first time to be on the campus for a whole long day.
Wow. How does it feel? How does it feel for you?
I was kind of nervous at the first day kasi maulaw ko mamansin sa uban.
But after one day,
naka-adapt naman na po, and it was pretty overwhelming at first in a good way. In a good way kasi like yung feeling to be back in school is so for me paan nastagal nga namin tang grabe to siya murag na-refresh ako ang kaugalingon nga. Uy, it's all coming back together again.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Are you coming back on Monday for the face to face? Are you part of that group also?
No, unfortunately, no, I'm not a part of it.
Wala pa mo laboratories, right?
Wala pa.
Labs pa lang.
Second year pa po ako eh.
But you're excited to come back to campus na.
Yeah, I would love to.
So other than Fatums, Fatums means sige meaning ano yun?
Federation of Hospitality and Tourism Management Students po.
Okay. Other than Fatums, what are your other organizations ba?
I'm an auditor po sa Compatriots. It's an interest-based organizations and also po ko-auditor gapon ko sa LSU Soul Whispers po.
Soul Whispers is, ay, wow, artist pala kausap natin. Lara and Lance. Wow, thanks Dom for joining us. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and thoughts. Safe travel back home.
Kakarating lang po. Here na.
All right. Thank you, Dom. What about the others? Sorry,
bro. This is like a radio show. Solid.
Yeah. Actually. No,
Solid,
so
solid.
hopefully we can have this regular na. I think we're looking at episodes. This is Zone Channel actually. It's called LSU. I'll plug it in na lang. From the Educational Digital Media Services Office. No. There's an LSU Zone channel. One of the channel is Brew Zone. This is our channel, episode 3. So nag-plug pa ko. No, so see, marami pa rin makarelate no na orgs over ACADS, but of course, there are also those na ACADS over orgs, no. It's kind of may iba nga wala eh. I mean, they just want to go to school and study and then that's it.
Yeah.
So I've seen your involvement, Lara and Lance, sa press kit niyo. How do you manage pala attending all of these things, no? Di ba hindi kayo nahihirapan? Hindi, Clara, apart from being the Vice President sa University Student Government of DLSU, ano pang involvement mo? And then ikaw, Lance, apart sa editor, sa Philippine Law Journal, what else do you have? So what about you, Lara, muna?
For me, actually, bro, during the pandemic, doon din ako nakagawa ng passion project ko. So, kagaya ng episode, or like your whole show, I also did the passion project related to coffee farmers. So, my friends and I put up the Amigo Coffee. So, it's a social enterprise, actually, that we get or source rather our coffee beans from our community partners in Mount Apo. At the same time, we a portion of our proceeds go to them actually for different initiatives that are in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So super yun yung isa sa mga things na I'm really proud of, because it's not just like me doing it, but it's really a community effort. And at the same time, I got to meet people also, foreigners at the same time, and other advocates of different causes because of that certain passion project. So that's something that grew a spark in me to just not sit at home and do nothing, but at the end of the day we can always maximize our resources and do something for other people. So that's something that I'm really proud of. But apart from that, I guess apart from USG, yun nga, as a BS Org student, I also did Archers for UNICEF. So it's like an org inside DLSU that is parang a sister organization of UNICEF inside. So webinars, projects. I do also hosting sometimes kasi I don't know. I just love hosting as well and talking to other people nga. And ano pa ba? Parang yun lang ata, bro. I really find the time as well not to not make pabaya ng studies ko kasi super important
Priority
din
paid
yan.
study, yes. Priority
Oo, kasi syempre yun, binabayaran din siya ng parents ko. are just like a plus thing for people that I get to meet, to engage with other causes and things. But at the end of the day, I'm still a student. Hindi naman ako makaka-participate in USG if mababa yung grades ko. So that's really important, guys. I'm saying, kahit priority or you really love to do orgs, don't forget about your academics as well because you're students in the first place. So yun lang for me.
Dapat priority pa rin yung studies even if
Yes.
it's
Yes.
involved. But I'd like to affirm you, ang ganda yung initiative mo, yung social enterprise mo. Sa coffee, that's nice, no? Padayon na, padayon. That I'm sure you will learn a lot from that engagement. Are you still on it?
Yes.
Are you still on it ba?
Yes. Currently we have like different products, but then my role there kasi it's more of the development project. So sa project side ako, hindi ako sa
Sa,
marketing
sa
side
market.
ng
But at
coffee.
best, you're still involved in the
Yes.
whole initiative. That's nice.
So
Keep
I
it
mean,
up.
you sell the coffee.
Yeah,
To
we
That's
sell the
that was my
coffee.
next question. Do you sell coffee? Because I'd like to order.
Yes, we sell the coffee. Yes. Pero nasa NCR base lang siya ngayon because
Oh.
medyo mahirap to deliver quality control also if we send it to other
Well,
places.
a reason to gather again lunch with Lara no time in
Yes.
You just nearby anyway.
Yeah.
Soon. Let's try the coffee that she's promoting. So what about you, Lance?
Well, first of all, what Lara said, she said na yun lang mga organization, but it's also so many already. Grabe. I don't know how she does it. Galing. But then for me, aside from PLJ as an assistant editor, I am a moot court member. So I did join the IHL moot court competition. That was last year. Um, and essentially, people think it's like a debate kind of thing, but it's more of like you're given a case, then you present, then you write a pleading for both the plaintiff and the respondent. So people who are in support of whatever the story is, or people who are against it, and then you present it to judges. So you're not debating with another team; you're against another team, pero the judges are the ones who asks you the questions.
Wow.
Parang court setup talaga. And then yeah, my team was fortunate enough to reach the finals, ganon. Even if it was online, ganon. So yeah, and the reason why I think it's such an investment really of your time, because like we have our daily ACADS work, right? And then to me it was like really like a subject. I think Lara can relate to like mga organizations as much as it's on top of school. Sometimes what's being asked of you is like super same as like a 5 unit, 4 unit subject, di
True.
ba? The type
That's true.
time you invest in
That's
it. And I think it's the reason why it holds so much weight is because you also like to succeed in it, right? You want to give your best in it also, right? So you just don't join something, you don't do anything just for, I don't know, to pad your resume, or to just for you to do something. You really want to, I guess, if not make a difference, it's really to test how the extent of what you can do as a person, diba? Because you'll never know the things you can or cannot do if you don't actually try it, right? So maybe this is a call to our listeners na if they're hesitating to do something, or
viewers also viewers.
our viewers too, yeah, right? Whatever things that you're hesitant about, maybe the pandemic is a perfect opportunity for you to dive into it, to actually start doing something that you're hesitant to do. Me, I was hesitant to do moot because I know that you have meetings, or at least you meet with the group every night, and then you grind to, especially the inner pleadings. We stayed up until like 4 or 5 in the morning just doing the footnotes, because there are rules in the footnotes pala on the spacing, on the
That's
citation.
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
and not only in mood, like the academic papers and everything, right? So, but then at the end of the day, you feel like, oh, I can actually do this. Oh, I'm capable of doing this, right? And you'll never get that sort of resolution or that sort of closure with yourself, even if you prove that you can't do it, unless you actually try it. And then you'll never know until at the end whether this is for you or not, until you actually do it. So yeah, I think that's one of the realizations, I think, from this pandemic, that we finally have the time and the probably the headspace to say to actually say bahala na. You know what? I don't mind. You know what other people might think, or what if I my hesitations on my time, or whether kaya ko or not. Right? It's really, just do it. Just do it. And then whatever happens, I think we're mature enough to realize that, whatever happens, we live with the results as long as we did our best. I think yun lang.
Believe your results
Actually,
as long
bro,
as you do our
to
best.
add to what Lan said, no, sometimes kasi organizations, more than it being a leisure or like pampalipas oras and all that, sometimes it's actually related to your studies and what you want to do in the future.
Yeah.
That's why I really, really take advantage of that, because, apart from your networking, the people you meet, it's really the passion and the things that you do there that can benefit you also in the long run. So it might be the skills that you learn from it,
Feels,
or
yeah.
actually the nature of the organization. Like let's say, for example, it's UNICEF, something like that. It's really connected to community development work. And at the same time, USG, the position I'm holding. So it's something related to what I want to do in the future. That's why it's also something very important in the student life cycle, no, to be engaged in things like that, because those are actually opportunities for you in the future to grab. So yun lang.
Yeah, I think the debate really opens your perspective. That
Yes.
Effective, exactly.
sometimes you think na, oh, I take this course, oh, I'm gonna become this,
Yes.
right? But then you go into, doesn't have to be organizations. It can be like you volunteered for something. It's
Yes.
one thing, but or the opportunity came to you and you said yes, diba? Then later on after that, oh, I actually like doing this thing. I'll invest more time. I'll read more about it, and then
Yes.
later you dream about it. Oh wait, I think I can. This is something that's cool for me, diba?
You just
So
connect everything.
Yeah.
exactly.
That's timely also because this family days, LSU launched the new vision mission statement, encouraging our students, to look into that direction. Na, we express our interests, our skills by taking part sa mga different organizations dito. I'm not saying that they're not involved, but they are involved. It's just that we also included clearly mga institutional learning outcomes. For example, kung ako I'm a member of FATOMS. Ano ba ang learning outcomes that I can learn, I can share with those who have the same passion as I do, no? So sa klase ko, I always ask, what are you passionate about? No? Kasi sometimes knowing our passion can also lead us to our interest. No? Like for example, in college, believe it or not, I was into 9 organizations, 9 orgs. Youth for Christ. I was into debate. I was into the school paper. I was in. I was a gov. I was a governor of the College of Business and Accountancy, and so many other organizations. Nakakapagod din actually, because I have to balance also with our ACADS, no? So, but still, yun lang. When I look back and I listen sa stories ni yung dalawa ni Lance and Lara, parang sabi ko, ay, at least ako nag-enjoy ako sa college ko, life ko. But maybe for our students na nasa Zoom and sa YouTube, who's watching from YouTube or listening wherever they are at the moment, parang a question that I'd like to ask, what do you look forward to into what do you look forward to in the new normal? No? Especially for Lasal Ozamis on Monday, there's a limited face-to-face. What do they look forward to? Kung saan yung gina-expect o ginapang handom, no? Or ano ba sa Ilonggo na what do you
Forward.
look forward? No, so maybe we'll ask our students, no? What do you look forward to? Beginning on Monday, we will be opening our campus already. Pero limited muna, no? Because we are trying to parang roll out muna tayo. So anong I think ang start muna are those subjects na may laboratories muna, sa labs muna. Or those na involved ng cooking, I think they're also coming here. Siguro si Jomar, I'm looking forward, bro, of unsaon pag-survive without canteen. Ah, good question. Wala canteen. I
No
think
canteen, bro, sa school? No,
ha?
no canteen? Walang canteen sa
Wala pa
school?
may concessionaire. We have not. There's a space identified, but we have not identified a concessionaire yet. No, it's kind of close, but that's a good. I'll take note of that, Jomar. Don't worry. I'll take note of that. That's part of my ano. Siyempre, lisod na pag walay kaon, no? Kaya kung mapa-food panda, daw kamahal man sad, no? So, yeah. Sige, we'll take note of that. What about the others sa YouTube? What do you look forward to sa new normal? Okay? So far, wala pa may nag-comment sa YouTube, but in a while, I suppose na. But what about you, Lance and Lara? What parang because it's 11:19, we're about to end. What do you look forward to sa new normal? Siguro I'll start with Lance.
Mm. Uh, Ako, about my block, we're like divided. And I think the whole entire UP community is divided too. Like some people want face to face, some people want, online, right? And I think especially if you're from the provinces or if you used to commute to school a lot, hassle if you um still would travel to go to school. Well, personally, I'm on the camp of if we can make concessions for perhaps a hybrid setup, right? I think that would be better because I can really say, as somebody who's been through face to face, it's really different when you meet your professors in person, when you meet your blockmates, your classmates in person. It's really different. Although at the same time, you understand that not all of us are similarly situated, that can always go back to school, whenever they can. Right? So I but then to me, I'm most looking forward to if ever we do a hybrid setup, I'm most looking forward to meeting my blockmates again, for sure. And meeting and hopefully meeting new friends as well, right? Because I you meet people online and you hope to make new friends, right? But then it's still different when you meet them in person. I think you're lucky if you meet somebody online. When you meet them in person, oh, they're exactly the same person, right? In terms of how they act, how they talk, who they are as a person, at least that you were able to deduce, diba? So, yeah, so those things. I'm most really looking forward to meeting my friends again, meeting my blockmates again, and meeting new people for sure, definitely. Yeah, because I'll be graduating next year.
Oh,
I'll be taking the bar next year. Yeah.
imagine Lara, magbabar ng kaibigan natin.
Ang bilis. 2 years lang yung agwat namin sa high
I
school.
know, I
Tapos
know.
ako,
Magbabar na siya. Take note of that.
mga
I
Parang
dalawang
know.
ano
kailan
na
lang.
siya, school na siya.
Parang
I know.
parang ang last recall ko sa kanya, ako light pa lang to, tapos ngayon magbabar na. Diyos ko, that
Yeah.
is so old. Pero
I even
before I
thought,
call
wait,
on,
I even
ha?
thought Lara was only 1 year below me. 2 years pala. Diba?
Before I call Lara, there's a parang may nag-post sa live chat natin from Renz Pactolin. Sabi niya, the thing I look forward to in the new normal, having mixed options for both
Mm,
face-to-face and online
yeah.
class will allow education to be more accessible and suited for every individual. I really agree on this also. Thanks,
Yeah.
Renz, for sharing your thoughts. No, that's true. Sabi din ni Wendell, I think maybe the adjustment like of our awkwardness between us classmates and the teacher especially, considering that it's our first time meeting in a face-to-face class and looking forward to be able to interact openly without feeling awkward and shy bro sometimes like okay lang yan. Sa umpisa lang yan eh. Minsan sa
That's
umpisa
true.
lang yan. I
Exactly.
understand that it's understandable also man kay di ba? It's been a while, no? So it's been a while. May
Pero
isa
bro, actually,
Oo,
ang
yeah.
na-notice ko, like, diba, you're all awkward meeting people for the first time. But the reason why it takes time because the more that you experience stuff together, the more that you'll really, the awkwardness and the walls go down.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, we've been through this together. We've had the same things. We've experienced the same stuff. So, that really helps, ease the awkwardness. At least in my experience, also.
That's true. That's true. Before Lara, may mga nag-share. From Ashley Gumapak, I look forward to meeting the people with whom I've been acquainted and been close with virtually. Dagay makarelate na. Despite the fact that our interaction next school year will be limited. Ayan, at least excited pa rin siya. Si Charmaine naman nag-share dito sa chat box. I look forward to the experience of interacting with other people in the Lasallian community, especially as I join Lasal upon the shift to the online setup na. at least no, everyone is excited. That's good. That's good. But nonetheless, let's always remind ourselves not to be safe pa rin, because it's for all of us naman. No? So we're doing our part. Kaya nga sa family days karon mga Lasalians, we're trying our best na limited muna ang makapasok, makasulod sa campus para we can simulate how things should be done. And we've been learning a lot the last 2 days, no. Ang daming tinuturo ng opening the campus pero regulated muna. Kasi ang dami talagang nanonotice namin. Sabi ko, let's take note of that lang para when we evaluate all of these things, allow all of these lapses to happen so that we will know what to do when it comes when the Monday comes. No, okay, things will be different. No, so yun. What about you, Lara?
Well, for me, brother, yung excited talaga ako. Kasi in DLSU, we already have like campus access. You can have your online classes there, but hindi pa siya yung totally na may professor in front of you to have classes. So we have that opportunity as well. And having to experience that, it really parang made a big difference for me as a person that is always in the room, in my house. Kasi we have this org culture that yung mga higher ups nila or someone older than them in ID number or year level, they call them moms and dads. And we call the younger ones anaks. So it's super, super heartwarming na there's like a lot of freshman students or sophomore students calling you mom, ganun, ganun, in the USG office. So parang, hala, kayo pala yung nakikita ko online lang and now you guys are here. So, as in that feeling, it really warms my heart. And the thing that I'm really most excited in is hybrid classes as well. I really want to experience that, having classmates na nasa room and at the same time classmates na nasa nasa TV, so you see your virtual classmates. So that's an experience that I'm really, really looking forward. And siguro finally to also meet my professors also. Kasi I think apart from the student struggles, I feel like a lot of professors, faculty members have also experienced a lot of things. And, even though hindi nila pinapakita sa students nila, that's something that I want to, kumbaga, be able to comfort them as well because they helped us during our online classes. And at the same time, parang I want to give back. So that's something I'm really looking forward to meet my professors, at the same time faculty members as well. Kasi marami din sila pinagdadaanan eh. And I guess it would also light their faces if ever they see their students online physically. So yun po.
Wow. Thanks, Lara and Lance. No, sana we had more time pa. We only have 3 minutes left. No, so yun lang. Thank you so much for sharing. And for those na nasa sa YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. I'll be showing in a while our badge. Remember, kung daghan na mong badges, kung na naman 6, you can qualify sa raffle later. No, so if you have 6, no, you can qualify. So make sure you'll be able to capture the badge in a while. No, so siya. Maybe I'll ask Lara and Lance before ano lang akong take away. Una, prayer became a factor sa the last 2 years, prayer, and then there was a highlight on relationships, no, people, na how we cope with trying to connect with people kahit sa Zoom or Google Meet or Facebook. We tried our best. We had our ways, no, to connect with people pa rin, no. And then, we started out with different hobbies. Yung iba went on with pets, the others naging plantito, naging plantita. Ako I tried becoming a plantito, but wala. I was more into cooking. I was more into walking. So I was also trying to look after my own health. No? And then, moving on, we try to be involved gihapon sa different organizations in school. We try also to balance, not really perfectly, but at best we tried our best na may time tayo for studies, may time tayo to rest, no? Especially on the discussion on sleep, no? Kanina we highlighted the importance and value of sleep so that we can still remain productive. So siguro mga Lasalians, make sure that we are able to sleep well pa rin, even with all these requirements, all these mga ano sa school natin. Kasi pag kulang tayo sa tulog, good luck ang health natin, ang kalusugan natin. Maapektuhan jud na siya, no? So, and then we are all looking forward for a hybrid experience as what Lara and Lance shared earlier. No, so thank you so much, Lara and Lance. Any last words for the Lasalian community here? Let's begin with Lara.
For me, siguro, despite, everything that's happening around us, there's always light at the end of the tunnel nga, sabi nila. And I think we're slowly getting there. And, when you have the resources to maximize it. When you have the opportunities to grab it. But at the end of the day, always value the things that you value the most, because, these are, for example, people who will be there to guide you, especially during these tough times. And always believe in yourself that you can go through a lot of things. So, yun lang for me.
Thanks, Lara. Lance?
For me, I think, especially since we're going to a hybrid setup, choose I think two things. Number one, have a support group, definitely. Whatever they may be, family or friends like that. But second, especially for friends, I think it's just like we're going back to physical setup, right? So choose your friends wisely. Be a nice person. Be kind, definitely. But definitely surround yourself with people whom align with you in terms of your values, your dreams, and how you really want to use your skills and your talents, definitely. So very not too different from the tips that you'd give to any person starting again, because I can imagine going back to school like we're all grade one, we're all prep. That was my feeling before. You go back to school, you don't know anyone. The only people whom you know are people whom you see in the class list before you enter the school. You see your class list, diba? So you don't know anyone, and you're really there. But I think just do your best and explore as much as you can, and with the ultimate goal of surrounding yourself with people whom you can be proud of, to say that these are your friends when you graduate, when you start working, when you get older. So that's it for me.
Thank you so much, Lance. Thank you so much, Lara. Daghang salamat sa inyong duha for taking time today, for guesting, sa pag-guest diri sa episode 3. This is part and parcel of the Panaglambigit 2022, the Lasalian Family Days here in Lasal University, Ozamis. To our audience diri sa Zoom, daghang salamat for joining us, and those on YouTube, daghang salamat sa inyo. And hopefully, you will also join us sa next episodes. Standby, abangan episode 4 kung unsa na gani na, we'll see, but we're hoping to invite fellow Lasalians from Lasalian East Asia District, from Hong Kong, Japan, Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand. Hopefully you will join us in the next episode, because we will now expand our audience and interaction also with Lasalians from other countries. So on that note, daghang salamat. Lara, Lance, again, daghang salamat. Everyone sa Zoom and sa YouTube, daghang salamat sa inyo ha. Animo Lasal, live Jesus in our hearts forever. Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. This is Brother Butch Alcudia, your host for Brew Zone, Episode 3. See you sa Episode 4. God bless us all. Bye. And here's the badge. Thanks, Mafi, sa YouTube. Thanks, Kim, the Travel Dreamer. Wow. Thank you sa tanan nga naa sa YouTube. Please don't forget to fill up the Google form sa evaluation. Please lang. Thank you so much. Please take time sa evaluation. Thank you so much, Jeanette. Thank you so much, Sophia. Yan. We're still live. Yeah. Te,